Okay, I think we can all agree that steak is probably one of the best things to eat and make. It's easy to cook, takes no time at all, and it's great for dinners. But sadly, a lot of people struggle the basics for a good steak. So, welcome to That Savage Kitchen, where today I'm gonna teach you how to get the perfect steak and get down the basics for a good steak every time. So, let's go. With every steak is good garlic, so I'm gonna teach you how to make some oven roasted garlic. First, you're gonna need some garlic, obviously, because without garlic, what you gonna do? Treat it like a king or queen. We do not discriminate over here. After your little photo shoot with the garlic, we gonna take that head off and expose that delicious garlic cloves like this. So when we put oil on top, all of the oil gets into the crevices of the garlic cloves, you feel me? Now we're going to take our garlic and get it out of its shell, make sure it's comfortable, and make sure you get all of that off until it looks something like this. Now get you some foil, get you some olive oil, drizzle it on top and sing under my olive oil, Now get you some beautiful thyme and some rosemary added on top so we can make it look pretty. And then after that, put some salt and some pepper on top. After that, wrap it up and isolate it from the world like an overprotective mom.
You're safe in here. I promise you, no one's gonna hurt you.
Now place this in your burning heat box for 350 degrees for 20 minutes. Now onto the head honcho, the king of all meats. First, we start off with a 1.5 pound ribeye. Ribeyes are the king cuts for steaks. Ribeyes are my favorite cut of meat, and I have to have a ribeye every time I'm cooking a steak. That is very essential to cook a perfect steak. First, I added some olive oil and then some butter, enough to coat the front and the back.
Use your buttery fingers to rub every edge of that steak.
This is going to help the seasoning stick to the meat and give the meat a nice brown sear. Now we got to add the spice to make everything nice. So I took 2 teaspoons equal parts of black pepper. Then I added some dried minced garlic. This is optional. Next, a mixture of garlic salt and onion powder. And lastly, kosher salt. Make sure you season both sides and do not waste any of that seasoning. Make sure you get the sides with the fat on it so that can be flavored too, and it should look like this. Now onto the skillet. I like to use a cast iron skillet because I think it's perfect for steaks and it has a good distribution of heat. If you don't have a cast iron or just don't want to cook on one, I have a video in the top right corner where I teach you how to make a tomahawk steak on the grill. That is the best grilled steak ever. Now we're going to drizzle some olive oil into our pan and make it scorching hot, like smoking point hot, like that. Now add your ribeye down and press down so it has contact with that skillet. We're going to let that cook for 3 to 5 minutes on each side. What I care about right now is color. We care about a good color, something like that. If your steak doesn't look like that, then I don't know what to tell you, but keep pressing it down so it has contact with that pan and let it cook on each side, even the side with the fat. Put your heat to a medium low and add 3 tablespoons of butter. Add some thyme and some rosemary. Only the highest quality rosemary from my garden.
Yes, sir.
Now add 4 cloves of garlic with the skins on. Mix all that up in the butter. And these herb aromatics are perfect for a steak. Must I say, essential. So I'm basting my steak so I can keep it moist, and I'm also cooking it. So I want my steak to be medium rare, which I think is the perfect temperature for a steak. Any longer, you're ruining it. But hey, I'm not gonna judge you because I know some people like they meat medium well and stuff. So here's the temperatures for that. After cooking so many steaks, I already know when it's done, but I just want to temp it just in case. Make sure you have a thermometer on you at all times. After we're done cooking, we're gonna let our steak rest for at least 10 minutes. This is very important for any meat, especially steaks, because if you don't let it rest and you cut into it, all of those juices that you worked for will pour out of the steak, and there's no way of coming back from that. Next, I like to pour the fat from my pan onto my steak, because if you don't, you're missing out on a lot of flavor. While this beautiful steak is resting, I like to take all my aromatic herbs and put it into a compound butter. So I take some butter, I took my garlic and my rosemary and thyme and I mixed them together. Put it on top of your steak, and this is what I like to call a meat candle, because when we take that blowtorch and let it melt, it's like the butter is the wax and it just leaves off a nice meaty and buttery essence. I hope y'all don't think that I forgot about this delicious oven roasted garlic, because I didn't. There you go. This is how you make one of the best steak compliments. It's honestly like caviar for steak and soft as butter. Now what everyone has been waiting for, the steak, the head honcho. Make sure you cut against the grain. If you cut with the grain, your meat will be tough. So get you a cleaver or any knife that you have and just start cutting against the grain. Your boy couldn't help himself. While he was cutting it, I was eating it because the steak was that good. And bro, add some flaky salt on top, grab a clove of garlic and a piece of steak and spread it on top like butter. This is literally butter to bread. Now go to your store, get a ribeye and make you a steak.